So it's Saturday. We're in Brooklyn. We're doing a renovation of a 3-family, gut renovated. Floors came out, walls came out, everything came out, kitchen came out, sink came out. We spent our Saturdays getting our hands dirty, being with the crew side by side, making sure the site is clean and safe at all times. An important topic today I think we should cover is, should you purchase a home already turnkey, meaning it's ready to go in, you have the keys, you can move your tenants in, you can start making that passive income right away, or should you try to do a gut renovation and maximize your equity in the property? So we're gonna jump into that and head in, okay? See you in there. On Saturday, I take my scrubs off and I get dirty. I'm trying to show this young man how to jump into the real estate game of houses. The big question and the topic of today is, should you buy a home turnkey, ready to move in, or something like this where you're doing a full gut renovation? So we're gonna just go through it right now. This is the first floor. We're doing a lot of framing at this point, plumbing, electrical. So one of the major things you want to consider when you're buying a house to do renovation is the cost. That's the major deterrent as to why you probably should buy a turnkey if you're now getting into the game. Okay, so we're gonna go upstairs. This is the 3-family.
And is the 3-family something that you would want to start?
Yeah, you want to start with something, a multi-family. The more units, the more floors, the more doors, the better. You decrease your chance of not being able to cover. So right now we're on the second floor of this 3-family gut reno. So most people look at TV, HD TV, and they think it's all good. You watch work being done within a whole hour that can take months. So things you have to consider when you're buying a home that you want to do renovation is the cost of the windows. These are the old windows. We're swapping out all the windows. That's about $20K, labor including materials. You have to consider the electrical. Right here, you see we ran the electrical. That's about another $20K in there. You're looking at framing, studs. You're looking at flooring, subfloors. You're looking at sheetrock. So, long story short, when you're doing a full gut reno, expect anywhere to shell out between $100,000 to $200,000. If you don't have the amount of cash, you may want to consider buying something turnkey, where that cost is already built into the loan and you're paying it over the life of about 30 years. Okay, so right now we're on the second floor. Any questions? So if you don't have the cash and you want to get into it, you buy something turnkey already.
How do you know if the turnkey is something that you want to jump into? Like, what kind of floors would you be looking for?
Well, everything is about the numbers. I say everything is about the numbers. So you want to look to see if it's within your budget. Look to see if you can manage the mortgage, and that's how you know whether you can do something turnkey opposed to buying something that you want to renovate.
The whole point of buying a turnkey is to make sure that you're able to manage it, is what you're saying.
So the whole point of buying a turnkey is that you're able to move in right away, and the cost of doing a renovation does not come out of your pocket.
Right.
It's already built into your loan. You don't have to worry about windows. You don't have to worry about permits. By the way, permits take a very long time to obtain and sign offs from the city. You have to make sure everything is safe. So if you're buying something turnkey, you're set, you're good. You can move in, or you can have tenants move in, and you're collecting rent from that month.
Right, so that way it's an asset rather than a liability.
Correct. So we're gonna progress up to the 3rd floor right now and see what's going on up there. And you really have to do your numbers to see what your budget is like and how much you can afford to spend. Here we are upstairs, 3rd floor. Things to consider: roof, right? We didn't mention that. Paint, tiles, anything from the plumbing, the toilet bowl. All these things can cost up that people do not really consider. And there's always hiccups. You open the walls. We opened the walls here. We noticed the building needed more support. We had to spend another extra $10,000 to give it that support. Buy more materials, more labor, more time. Time is money. Okay. That's about it. So to recap, the pros of buying a turnkey property. 1, less stress. You don't have to worry about anything really going wrong or doing too much fixes, if any. 2, less money. You don't have to come out of pocket and spend to fix anything. So that's easier. 3, another pro is that how you can save your time and energy, which is a big thing for people. A lot of people are working 1 or 2 jobs. They don't have time to turn around and deal with a contractor, which leads us into the cons of buying a turnkey. The contractor. So you don't know what work the contractor really did to the house. You may hire a home inspector, but from my personal experiences, I stopped hiring them because I do the inspection process myself. A lot of times they miss things and now you're stuck with it. So that's one of the cons of buying something turnkey. You don't know what's beneath or under the walls, or you don't really know what's going on with the house. Another con of buying a turnkey is the price. It's a lot pricier because someone has spent their time, energy into fixing the home and make it readily available. So you're going to pay for that, right? So those are the pros and cons of buying something turnkey. Next, we'll discuss the pros and cons of buying something that needs to be gut renovated. Here are the pros of buying something that needs fixing up. I recommend not doing it if you're now starting off in the game, because to me, the cons outweigh the pros. But to start, one of the pros is that you get instant equity. Once you're finished updating all of the electrical or plumbing or adding a new roof or building a deck or whatever it is, addition of a bathroom or updated kitchen, you now have instant equity in that home if you fixed it up. But that equity is only good if you pull out of it. Another pro of buying a fixer-upper is that how you know exactly what happened behind the walls. You know that your walls are insulated if you choose to insulate them. You know that the electrical is good if you had a good electrician. You know exactly what's going on with your house from the inside out. So that's a real big pro if you know what you're doing. You can also, believe it or not, save a lot of money if you know how to, 1, do the work yourself, or you have a strong connection to friends or family who know how to do this work. So now you save money and now you have equity and you can turn around and reinvest that money. Let's go over some cons of buying a fixer-upper. So the cons of buying a fixer-upper: it costs a lot of money. A lot of money. And one of the biggest cons is you may buy something that needs work and you don't know what's behind the walls. So the minute you start doing electrical, plumbing, demo, you start to expose a lot of things that need fixing. Maybe the foundation needs fixing. You're coming out your pocket more than you inspected. So that's a major con of buying a fix-up. You have no idea what you're really going to get into. You get all these quotes from these different contractors giving you all these great prices, but they will let you know up front, and they're not scared to tell you within the process, hey, I need an extra $15,000 or $20,000 because we didn't anticipate this when we open the wall. So there's a lot of hidden surprises that's associated with doing a fixer-upper. It costs a lot of money. Not only does it cost a lot of money, but it takes up a lot of time. So why does this take up a lot of time? Well, no matter where you're doing this work, even if you're doing this work in Trinidad, chances are you're going to have to get permission to do this work, right? Now, you could do this work without permits or permission, but it's risky. And now you don't have the backing of anyone. So here you go. You want to get a fixer-upper. You pull permits. You have to consult an architect. You have to wait to get permission to get this project rolling. So now you have the time clicking and going. If you did not purchase this house all cash, you still have the responsibilities of making those mortgage payments. So you have no passive income coming into your house. What could happen is your contractor can also give you this good price, and then he starts to rev up his price. He's already got you locked in because the permits are now under his name. So he more or less has you under control. He can steal your money. He can disappear. There's a lot of fishy things that these contractors do in this business that's very, very risky. And we've all heard stories of a contractor running away with someone money, or the guy you paid him to do a simple job. He's now sick every other day. No one's coming. Your work needs to get done. You're trying to get that passive income, and now you're still responsible to pay that mortgage. Another con of buying a fixer-upper is the sign-offs. So let's say a contractor was doing all the work. He was moving fast. Everything is moving at blazing speed. You still have to wait for the city or the government or whichever agency to come in and now say, hey, you did a good job and your work is clear. And if they say no, then you have to come back, spend more money, try to fix it so you can get those sign-offs. So there's a lot of hidden costs associated with buying a fixer-upper. I strongly recommend against it if you're now starting off in the game, if you don't know anything about constructions, if you do not have any strong connects. I would suggest buying something that's turnkey, where you can get in, get passive income rolling in, and then move on. Ultimately, I would always say this. You'll hear me say this over and over and over. It's all about the numbers. Can you afford to do a fixer-upper, right? What is your goals? My initial goal when I started, I bought something turnkey to get that income, and it was more of a flip. After a year or two, you flip them. You can build up your cash reserves, where you can now start buying houses all cash or larger units, which is the key. Larger multiple units, you have more passive income coming in. So you have to look at your numbers. You have to recognize your goal. Is it so I can get cash now? And when I say now, I don't mean overnight, and you have to look at your numbers. Please feel free to write any comments, suggestions. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you like it. I'll be coming out with more content on a weekly basis. And I hope you guys got a little bit of knowledge from this.